Hello everyone. I think my microphone on? Might not be on, Mark. Mark, is my microphone on? Mark, are we good? Is my mic on? Okay. See if we've got microphone. Might be as simple as turning it on. I didn't even look. All right. I think we've got microphones. Does that sound right? Okay. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Park Cities. We are happy to have you here in the room with us today. It is very nice to be back. I know everyone is excited to see each other and visiting a little bit. If we could get your attention. Well, maybe in a minute or two. There we go. Thank you, Greg. Hi, Mark. Hi. All right. Well, we are going to go ahead and get this meeting started. Well, welcome on a Friday. We're glad you're here, and it's good to see everyone's face again. As you know, we are, have our mask ordinance, and I appreciate everyone paying attention to that. And, of course, when you're eating, you can't wear it. But if you're not eating, I appreciate you wearing it. So that's great. Safety first. I also want to take a minute and acknowledge Happy Franklin. She started a project in the spring, and that was to renovate and redo our name badges. And they look great. So a thank you and a round of applause to Happy for that. That's great. And last week was our first meeting in person, and I want to take a minute, which I didn't do, I failed to do last week, and I wish I would have, is to acknowledge our officers and board of directors. As you know, we had our virtual installation the end of June, but I'd like for those of you that are in the room today to stand up, and I've got one of the Rotary International opening doors pins for you. So if I could have Happy come forward, and once I'm done reading the names, we'll give them all a big round of applause and appreciation. So Happy is our president-elect. Jeff McNaughton is our vice president. Here you go, Happy. Thank you. Valerie Palin is our secretary this year. Philip Bankhead is our treasurer. Here's your pen. And we have, here, Jeff. There you go. Thank you. Here you go, Philip. We have 6 directors, and if you'd all walk forward, if you're here, Daniel Drabinski, Sean Foster, Mark Kasher, Jill Jordan, Stan Wright, and Patsy Watson. Director pins, thank you guys. I can tell you that their work hasn't stopped all these months. We have been having board meetings and team meetings, and then we also have Kyle Marmillion here, who's our sergeant at arms. I know he's here. He's been busy setting up the room. And Chris McNeil, Tracy Gomes is our director at large, and Richard Stanford, our past president. I know Richard's here. All right, now that rousing round of applause. And I second that. It's been a great team. We started a long time ago in the first weekend in February with our strategic planning session, followed by 3 shadow board meetings, followed by the installation, and now rolling week by week into our meetings. So they are busy group. I'm going to ask Ian Mudge to come up at this point to have the invocation, the pledge, followed by the national anthem.
Does anyone have any joys or concerns this morning? Or afternoon now? Amen. Amen. Fred? Yes. Wow. Cool, 7th grandchild, wow. Go ahead. Oh. Absolutely. Oh. Wow. Yeah, Roger. Wow, that's amazing. Go ahead.
Next week, my son's coming back from deployment overseas. He's going to get safe travels with the girls.
Anyone I've overlooked? All right, let's go before the Lord in prayer. God, I thank you that we have this opportunity to come together and to fellowship as a unit, to serve our fellow man. After all of these months apart, we are just so thankful to be back together and back in unity. So we give you the glory for that. God, as we're continuing to face this pandemic, please keep us safe and our families safe. We thank you so much for all of the joys that were shared today, all of the amazing things that are happening, children coming home, children thanking their parents. We have so many amazing things going on in this club, and we give you the glory for all of those. God, for all of the concerns that we're facing, be there with us. We know that you are here and that you love us and you care about us. Continue to show us your presence and to give us your peace and your joy and your hope. We pray for our country as we're moving into this election. Be with our leaders. Help us to have peace in our country. Give us the wisdom and the guidance to continue to move forward and to help our fellow man. Amen. All right, I invite you to stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're not going to be singing the Star-Spangled Banner, but we will listen to it nicely. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you, Ian. That was great. I have to tell you, we've all made a lot of sacrifices and done quite a few things differently in our lives, but I have to say not singing. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. We are going to have Richard Stanford who's going to walk around, introduce any guests that we have in the room. Like Scurry has someone.
Hi, I'm pleased to introduce to you Dan Shaughnessy, who's actually Jim Weichels' guest. But anyway, Dan's here. He's been in Rotary before, and he wants to get familiar with Rotary here at our club and consider possibly joining in the future. Anyway, he's here on his own, even without Jim, and he's in the advertising and marketing business. So please say hi to him after the meeting, and we're happy that Dan is joining us.
Welcome, Dan. We're glad you're here. We know once a Rotarian, always a Rotarian, so please come back. Any other guests in the room today? Okay, thank you, Richard. Mark Kasher is going to highlight our Marketplace Advertiser next.
Thank you, Barb. As a quick reminder, we've got about 5 spots available if you want to be an advertiser on the hub and support the club. So if you do, please ask me. But today, Club Past President Richard Stanford and the Highland Park United Methodist Church are this week's PCR Marketplace Advertiser. Highland Park United Methodist Church is one of the 3 largest churches in its denomination, with a membership of 17,000, and is located on the SMU campus at Mockingbird and Bishop. Has satellite congregations at Munger Place Church in East Dallas and the Grove in North Dallas. Soon beginning a new worshiping congregation at the House of Blues in the downtown Dallas area as well. Together with strong programs for youth, children, and families, the church offers an array of programs to enrich and disciple people of all ages. It also provides the Wesley House, a community for college students on the SMU campus. A unique feature of its main campus are the multiple forms of worship offered every Sunday, with services are going to be reopening later this fall with appropriate precautions as well. High church, contemporary, traditional, a teaching service, and youth worship at the Tolleson Family Activity Center. Its outreach supports dozens of nonprofits and projects benefiting the community. It has become the world's largest nonprofit habitat provider and operates both an orphanage in Costa Rica and an eye clinic in Haiti. During the summer of the COVID pandemic, it has provided over 2,000 meals per day to people in need as well. Highland Park United Methodist Church is a place to find community and to grow in faith and service. So please, thank you, Past President Richard and Highland Park United Methodist Church, for being a PCR Marketplace Advertiser. We really appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you, Richard, and Highland Park United Methodist Church. We've got 3 members with things to tell you: Holly Hollenbeck, and Happy Franklin, and Fred Brown. So if you would come up, I guess, and stand by the stage. Holly is going to be up first. She's going to tell us about PCR Connect coming up. Next will be Happy, and then Fred Brown.
Hello, I'm Holly Hollenbeck, one of your newest members, and I'm here to remind you that next Thursday, the 15th, is our Park Cities Connect opportunity to network with your fellow members during happy hour. You can do it on Zoom with Zach, or you can do it live here at Maggiano's downstairs with me. Either way, it's going to be a good time with cocktails in hand. We hope to have some fun and meet some new members and connect. So please join us, and we're competing with the Zoomers. So if you're willing to come live, we would like to have more live people this time than Zach had on Zoom. He actually beat us last time by 1 person. So we're hoping if you're comfortable to come out in person, we'll be downstairs by the bar. We have a separate area called the stage, which has 2 full large tables that seat 8 each. So please come fill all our tables so that we can beat Zach this time. Thanks.
Hi there. Happy Friday. How's everybody doing? Thank you, Barb, for the pen. I love that it's a magnetic pen, so I don't have to put holes in my clothes. Thank you so much. It's very pretty. So we have 4 slots left for the overview and tour of the John Bunker Sands Wetland Center. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's next Saturday, October 17th. It only costs $5. It's from 10 to 12. It's out in Seagoville. It's just a short drive away. We have 20-person maximum. We have 16 people. I'd love to have 4 more people to max it out. We're going to see some great plants. We're going to go on a nature walk. We're going to see some bald eagles, some great birds, river otters, and potentially bobcats, etc. So we'd love for you to join us. And again, happy Friday. Great to see you.
Thank you, President Barb. It's good to be back in this room, if it is on a limited basis. I would like to give you an update today on the Agape Clinic, and to thank you, the members of Rotary Club of Park Cities, for your continued support of the clinic. Back in March of this year, just as the pandemic was getting started, the clinic was exposed by a patient who had all the symptoms of having coronavirus, and consequently we had to shut the clinic down for the testing to go through. And back in those days, it took up to 2 weeks to get those tests back. So what we did during that 2 weeks was to do a deep clean of the facility and come up with new policies and procedures so that we could still continue to see our patients and clients over there, if you will. It was during that day, 10 days, that we did do our deep clean and open back up, primarily seeing patients in the parking lot and screening them there before we let them in. And then we went virtual at that point of seeing and not seeing, but basically talking with patients and trying to give them prescriptions and seeing what their needs were. This has worked out very well for us. In fact, we have increased the number of patients and patient visits that we have to the point that we will do this year approximately 18,000 patient visits within the clinic, which is equal to what we did last year when we were seeing all the patients inside the clinic. So it's working out very well from that standpoint. But without your support, the Rotary Club of the Park Cities, we would never be able to do what we do. It's just a great support system financially and people as well. Earlier this year, the foundation of the Rotary Club of Park Cities approved a grant of $5,000 to Agape Clinic to support the mobile unit mission that we have put underway at the clinic. This will allow us to go out to some other places in South Dallas and West Dallas to see people that we wouldn't normally see. So this is a program that we're starting this year. Hopefully it'll kick off by the first of the year, and hopefully by the end of this year we'll have it up and running. In addition to that, we initiated earlier in March a lunch program that was set up to do lunches primarily on Thursdays. And the response by you, the members of this club, has been overwhelming. We have collected over $2,000 of money that has provided to date 26 different meals to those volunteers and staff members that are at the Agape. This allows them to continue to do their work and not have to go out into the neighborhood to go get lunch or to bring their lunch in. So you continue to do that. So thank you very much. In order to continue this program, though, I'm asking today if you would dig a little bit deeper, and if you can support us as we go forward too. In the past, we've asked for a donation of $50. Several of our members have gone way beyond that, and that's how we were able to get to $2,000 of collected funds. But that fund is about to run out, and we would love for you to support it if you so desire. You can make your checks out to RCPC and give them to me, or you can give them to Philip Bankhead, our treasurer of the club. Philip has done an excellent job of backing me and keeping records off record, if you will, of the income and the expenses that go on. But Philip, thank you for that. And thank you, the Rotary Club of Park Cities, for all your support. Thanks.
Thank you, Fred. As you know, we have 3 strategic partners, and the Agape Clinic is one of them, Salvation Army, and North Texas Food Bank. So to be there for the frontline workers, the folks that give so much of their hearts and their time and their talent at the Agape Clinic is so much appreciated. Those Thursday lunches, they look forward to them. So just a real quick reminder to, as you all have done, I appreciate it, going online and making your reservations. Wednesday at noon is the cutoff to be an eater today, and then non-eaters you just need to reserve by Friday. Just make sure we have enough chairs or chairs at the tables. But I think the system we're still working on some hiccups. It's new to us, and it's a learning process, and I appreciate everyone's patience in all of this and giving us a little bit of grace. So let's see. Last thing is just remember, if you have joys or concerns, let me know. Shoot me an email or give me a call. I'd love to talk to you. So we're going to move on to today's speaker, which is why we're here. We're excited about that. Jeff Sheehan is the program chair of the day. Jeff is also the program chair of the entire speaker series for the entire year. He works with Susan Harris, and works is an understatement. He has given lots and lots of time, and we need speakers for next year. I know all of you know someone that would be interesting, that would bring value to our members. We'd love to give him an opportunity, and Jeff is the man to give a call if you've got some ideas. So, okay, Jeff, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thanks, Barb, and I hope everyone is enjoying their coronation like I am. I can't wait to get back to work and get back here normally. But today's speaker is Diane Busbee with Hope Cottage. And Diane is currently the development director for Hope Cottage, and is an established pregnancy, foster care, and adoption nonprofit agency based here in Dallas. Diane's going to be speaking to just operations at Hope Cottage, strategic partnerships they have, and business development, and the operations. And in addition to that, Teresa Lendling is here. She's the new CEO for Hope Cottage. So please welcome Diane.
Technology. Let me make sure I've got this on. Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. Thank you, Jeff. And like you said, I'm Diane Busbee, Development Director. And just by raise of hands, I would love to know how many of you have actually heard of Hope Cottage? And that's awesome. Okay, it's good to know. I'm a Park Cities person myself. I've been here for over 8 years. My kiddos. I actually have a child that is a freshman in college too. Oh gosh, I have not gotten that call yet, which trust me, I am going to be calling him and just, feeling it out. But I have a freshman in University of Richmond and a senior, an actual senior, and so I'm going to have 2 in college as of the end of this year, and an 8th grader. So I'm proud to be part of Park Cities, and I'm grateful that you are allowing me to take the floor today. I wanted to tell you a little bit about Hope Cottage because I have to say I've been with Hope Cottage for 1 year. This month, just had my anniversary. I've been in nonprofit for many years, but prior to coming to Hope Cottage, I hadn't ever really heard of it before. And we're a really old nonprofit in this area, and so I have been very excited to share with everyone what we do because I think that pregnancy and adoption agency is definitely what we do, but we do a lot more too. So I'm excited to be able to share all of that. Oh, that's me. I actually have to be the one to turn these slides. So to tell you, Hope Cottage is one of Dallas's oldest non-faith-based adoption agencies. We were founded back in 1918 during the Spanish flu. So we handled a pandemic then. We're handling a pandemic this time, and we will get through it. And we were also dealing with a lot of the World War I fatalities. So our founder, Emma Wiley Ballard, saw that there were just mass abandonment of children in streets, in hospitals, So people just couldn't care for their children. And she said enough is enough, and she started Hope Cottage. And just a little fun fact, because I know that you guys here at the Rotary Club are very philanthropic and you know your charities around town. In 1924, Hope Cottage and 6 other nonprofits came together to do a big fundraiser together to help raise money for programs. And out of that was spawned 3 different nonprofits today. Dallas Foundation, Communities Foundation of Texas, and the United Way of Metropolitan Dallas. So it's just neat to know that Hope Cottage had a part in getting those things started. And just a little bit more of our history. In 1971, let's look at this. You'll see the picture with all of the nurses and the little children actually in the houses in our facility. In 1971, by that time, Hope Cottage had placed over 10,000 children, and we had started to operate 2 different maternity homes. And we also had the Girls Foundation for Emotionally Troubled Girls, which is now our Friends Place, as well as a home for boys. Now, obviously, this picture was taken a long time ago, but we really do get calls, even today, saying, do you have children in your facilities that are ready to be adopted? And we really did, but we don't do that anymore. Then in 1991, we started our youth education program. And in 2011, we had a really big contract come through with the Texas Pregnancy and Care Network. And so we provide free case management, education, and counseling services to pregnant women and to their children up to when they get to 3 years old, all the way through that. And then just recently, in 2019, we acquired, by a legal merger, Allie's House. I don't know if you've heard of that, but it was established in '97. And this was to help teen mothers overcome big hurdles and obstacles and help them to become thriving through counseling. We help them with innovative learning and workforce development. And so what we have done was we brought them in under our parenting program, and so now we have been able to expand that. And just to let you know, we provide services in North Texas, East Texas, West Texas, and we have an office in Dallas and El Paso. So at Hope Cottage, our mission is simple. We build and nurture families through education, counseling, and adoption services. And our primary goal is to ensure that all children have a healthy start in life, and that they have an environment in which they can thrive. So we have 6 different programs that Hope Cottage offers, and I'll start with our very first one, which is infant adoption services. This is our core. This is what we were founded on. And we've done this for 102 years now, and we are really proud that we provide assistance without regard to race, creed, color, gender, sexual orientation, or religion. And with our infant program, we provide, obviously, adoption, counseling, and guidance for people who are contemplating adoption placement, as well as families who are looking to adopt, and we help to match those families. Our second longest running program is our post-adopt program. We serve about 140 kids a month through this program, and it helps with life-changing therapeutic support for all members of the triad, the birth family, the adoptive family, and the adoptees. We help with reunification services for those looking to find birth relatives, and we provide events and therapeutic events together with families to help them find other families and participate with people who know what the challenges are that they're going through. And I have to tell you about this picture, because these are pictures of our actual families. And like I said, I came to Hope Cottage in October, and so this was my very first holiday party with Hope Cottage, which we had in a big, beautiful church, and we brought all of the families together, and it just so touched my heart. Having not really been affected by adoption prior to coming to Hope Cottage, I had the idea of like a Lifetime movie. You know, I didn't really know what went on with adoption, but I knew that closed adoptions were what most people have always thought of in the past in regards to adoption, where it's just not talked about, it's kept quiet, the adoptive parents raise the child, the birth parents don't have much to do with that. Things are changing nowadays, and there are a lot of open adoptions that happen as well. This is a perfect example of an open adoption. You can see adoptive mom and birth mom together, and sweet little baby girl with her daddy in the back, and then birth grandmother there. So what we do is we had all of these families come together, bring kids, and we put them in little pods where they could have Christmas and celebrate Christmas together as a family. And I just love that because it's just more love for that little baby, right, from both sides. So I love this program, and it touched my heart when I first got here. Another one of our programs is our professional education program. Mothers who are making a decision to choose an adoption plan really do need to have access to trained hospital staff who will respect their decisions. So what this program does is it offers medical staff, teachers, and social service providers comprehensive understanding of what to do when you're facing a crisis pregnancy, how to be supportive of that, and to be able to be respectful of those decisions, because it is a very emotional, sensitive topic, and they need to be able to understand that. So, Youth Education Department, as you can see, just like everyone else, we used to be in the schools. We are now virtual. We have shifted and pivoted with COVID, and we've got training going on both in person in some schools and virtual. But this program, when teenagers make healthy choices, they are less likely to face unplanned pregnancies. So we really do strongly help these children, because a lot of these programs they're offered to both middle and high school children and students in the Dallas and surrounding counties. And they provide education to help reduce risky behavior and give them knowledge and understanding of the real-life consequences of unplanned pregnancy. Just some statistics for those of you who like numbers. I thought these were incredible. Texas has the 7th highest teen birth rate in the United States, and we have the highest repeat birth rate. A baby is born to a teen mom every 3 hours in Dallas County right here. It's just mind-boggling. And just as Dallas taxpayers, just to let you know, teen childbearing costs are costing more than $100 million each year. So we need to make sure that we're helping these children learn to make some better choices. Approximately 50% of teen moms do not graduate from high school, and 1 in 3 young people will experience dating abuse. And so these classes also really help people to understand healthy relationships, because if you've never had that modeled, you really are going to follow other patterns, and so we need to help them to understand what a healthy relationship looks like. So on to Allie's house, which I had mentioned we acquired just last year. This is it's now part of our comprehensive pregnancy and parenting program. And, some mothers that do choose to have their children are just not equipped to know how to parent. And so what this program does, and you can see, it's again a picture of these young moms and their kiddos all coming together for a holiday party and having that support of each other. But we really do help them to understand how to better parent. And, mothers who have a lot of limited resources, teen moms who have really stressful living conditions, they are at higher risk to place their children in a high-risk category where CPS, Child Protective Services, will come in and possibly remove those children. And we don't want that to happen. And we want them to equip them to be able to have stable homes and truly be able to give their children a really great start and a healthy start in life. So just another quick statistic, since I find these are so interesting, approximately 15% of the girls living in Texas give birth before the age of 20. I just know where I was at 20. That is scary. 27% of the children in Dallas have parents that do not have secure employment. And 39% of those children are being raised in single-parent homes. And this one is a shocker, that out of the entire United States, Texas ranks 41st in child well-being. We've got to change that. And so hopefully, our goal is for this program to really equip parents to be able to give these children the best start that they can in life. Last but certainly not least is our foster care services program. And not all children are safe at home. When you don't have that, you haven't been raised that way, it's hard to believe, but it is true. And there are 443,000 children in foster care in the entire United States, and 30,000 children in foster care in the state of Texas. So Hope Cottage Foster Care Services Program, what we do is we serve individual children and sibling sets from 0 to 17 years old who have been removed from their biological homes due to abuse or neglect. And Hope Cottage teaches and trains families, caring foster families, and we equip them to understand the needs of these children that are coming from households that might not be the healthiest. And we also work through that transition and help them and help with CPS and all of the different services that these children need. We help be able to support the foster families with that. I'm going to show you a quick video. Hopefully this works. Fingers crossed.
Jason, let's go see your room.
What do you think? We kept it a little spare, so you can decorate it how you like.
Dinner. Here we go.
Excellent. Soccer is fun. Yeah, I saw you guys out there.
Take it. Yeah.
If you noticed, I didn't watch because I can't. I cry every single time. But I wanted to show you that specific video because a lot of times we think of foster kids and we think they're littler. But each year, more than 1,000 children in Texas age out of foster care. That means they hit 18 years old and they have no one. No family, nothing. I cannot even imagine. I still talk to my mother every single day. I'm like, I can't imagine, and it's just heartbreaking. Unfortunately, this is a pipeline to our prison systems, and nearly 60% of the boys who are foster teens will end up being convicted of a crime, and half of these teen foster kids experience homelessness. And about 30 of them are already parents themselves. There's a huge need for foster families. We recruit all the time, and there's just never enough. So just to let you know, we spend about 55 hours a month educating potential foster families. Those families who decide to go through with licensure, it takes about 35 hours to complete that. And with Hope Cottage, we continue to act as a liaison and help those families and placements. But it's a sad sad thing, because usually around 10, 12 years old, if children haven't been placed in a permanent home, they end up flopping through the system and aging out, and it is such a tragedy. In Texas, approximately 56 children enter foster care every single day. About every 8 minutes, a child can become a victim of abuse or neglect. And currently, right now in Texas, there are about 3,400 children waiting to be adopted. So there's a lot of work to be done, right? Because truly, having our kids realize and be able to call us and say thank you. There's kids out there that are hurting and they need somebody to wrap their arms around them. And I love what Hope Cottage does in every way, because through the adoption process, through foster care, through education and helping to empower young parents to be able to really raise kiddos in healthy environments, that's what we're about. And I'd like to pause real quick and introduce, because we have our brand new CEO, which I am honored to be part of her leadership, because she comes to us very highly regarded from the Perot Museum of Natural Science and History. Am I saying that right? We all know the Perot Museum. Love it. And so I'm really honored that she's come and I just wanted to let her share just a little bit about where Hope Cottage is going in the future, because we've had a lot of changes as everybody has. But come on up, Teresa Lendling. So glad.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for having us come out here and speak with your group. Like Diane mentioned, it's important for us to reach out into the communities and get everyone engaged, because we want to increase awareness, and that's the exciting juncture in which we're at. I'm an adoptive mom, and so this is near and dear to my heart. So with my education background, combined with the passion to, again, give children really the best start to life in a healthy, safe home, is just amazing. I can't say enough about how proud I am to have joined Hope Cottage. And as we embark on a new strategic plan, which we will be wrapping up here shortly, we're excited about the future. So we have a great legacy of over 100 years. And as we move forward, we're going to evolve and shift, just as we're faced with COVID-19 and what that has done, and the organization has shifted and evolved. And as we look forward, we are very excited about the future and looking at how we can create continued community impact, not only in North Texas, but in East Texas, West Texas, and on. So thank you again. We appreciate your engagement with Hope Cottage. And if you have any questions, or if you know of a family who can get involved with foster care, after watching that video, everybody knows someone who might be able to, open their homes and open their hearts to foster care. So thank you again. Please let us know if you have any questions about our organization.
I will turn it back over unless anybody has any questions, which I'm not. Oh boy, here we go.
Diane, if you could explain again, because it always breaks my heart, as at 18, we foster out, but there are still a fair amount of resources available to these kids at that point from the state, like for education and such? Because that's just a tragic situation, clearly.
Right. I do believe that there are some educational grants and such, specifically for foster kiddos. But Teresa, do you know? I do. I know that for a fact because I've seen them. But I. Mm-hmm. But again, it's usually left up to the child, who is now no longer a child, an official adult at 18, to search those out. And that's kind of where there's almost a little bit of a disconnect. And I'm not sure I'm sure there's organizations out there that can help plug in, but at that point, it's up to them to search those out. So.
It sounds like all your adoptions are domestic, not international.
They are. They are. That's correct.
And could you give us kind of just a mix of your resources of your foster care versus adoption versus your other services? How do you allocate your resources?
How do we? I'll let you. Would you like to come back up and talk on that?
So within our organization, that's a really good question. We actually they're very different departments. And so we have, because everyone has a different background and you have to address different needs differently. And so we have caseworkers that focus primarily on foster care. And, ideally, we want to make sure that they are in a permanent home. So that might mean that they end up going back into their birth families. They may get adopted through the foster care system. But as far as the resources themselves, we see probably about, I would say, 4 times as many foster as private adoptions. So that's kind of the split, and we allocate our resources evenly throughout, depending on the percentage of what those look like. But just to give you an idea, we currently have about 40 kids in foster care right now. And so we do train those families, and we're certified to place those families through CPS. Does that answer the question?
Okay. I want to thank you again so much for having us. And if you have any questions, we have cards, or we're going to be around. So thank you, and honored to be here.
Just wanted to let you know that we will be donating a book to Preston Hollow Elementary School in your honor for speaking to us today.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, that was wonderful. Thank you. What a great service that you provide the community as well. We have, next week, Reverend Matt Tuggle will be here from the Highland Park United Methodist Church. He's going to talk about how a large organization handles a pandemic. Jeff Brady is the program chair of the day next week. Before we adjourn, we're going to have Jeff Sheehan is going to do our 4-way test. Did you know that? We are full of surprises today, so y'all need to help him out. We kind of caught him off guard. And then I would like to recognize Betty Dawson, if you would come forward, and Mark Neese. Both of them are primarily responsible for our having these wonderful district award banners that we have. Betty works tirelessly each and every week to produce the hub. It's available electronically each week, and it's printed out on your tables today. So, Betty, we'd love a picture of you and Mark, if you would. Mark, as you know, you see him. You didn't see much of him when we were having our meetings virtually. He was behind the camera, but he is here with us today during the weekly meeting. So we'd love to get a picture and a big round of applause. Great. There's a standing ovation. I can second that. Both of you work tirelessly. And I know in my heart all of our members who are watching us virtually today are standing and applauding as well. Well, with that, we're going to ask Jeff. He's looking for the 4-way test banner.
Thanks, Barb. And now the 4-way tests are the things we say or do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better development? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? We're adjourned.
Thank you all, and have a good weekend.